kind of a big story, and it's getting attention nationwide regarding the Redskins, is the sort of the first time that Terrelle Pryor wasn't a big part of the game plan. I believe he was only in on one play in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he did get a few targets, dropped a ball or two, but did make a couple catches in the second half. But people around the country are noticing. And Jay Gruden was asked about it yesterday, right? Do you have comments? This is on a conference call, and Jay talks about Pryor. And then I want to ask you guys a question, because I think maybe they should shop him.
Is this the beginning of the end for him?
Well, I mean, they even says, I don't know if you have it in this clip, but eventually they want to play Doxson. Doxson was the number one guy to be the number one.
Yeah.
What do you get for Pryor?
Anything's better. Maybe you can get another offensive lineman. Yeah, they need something.
I don't think you're going to get much for him.
Yeah, I was just curious, was Terrelle Pryor's role like a one-time thing based on the matchup versus the Eagles, or do you kind of see him sticking more in a rotation while starting Josh in the future?
We'll see how it goes moving forward. Right now I think we want to get Josh in there a little bit more and see how he did. And Josh did some good things. Some things we need to clean up, as same with Terrelle every week. So just going to continue to coach those guys up, try to play the hot hand, play the guys who are fresh, and go from there.
And then what are kind of some of those things you need to clean up?
We just need to clean up some of the detail in the route, some of the blocking, some things we just need to clean up.
Well, so he's alluding to the receivers and the tight ends, I believe, not doing a great job in the block. That's been a theme the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even some of the announcers have pointed this out during the broadcast. Whether or not Terrelle Pryor runs, I can't imagine he runs a great route. The guy's only been doing it a couple years. How could he run
how
great
can you expect
routes?
him to?
Yeah. I personally...
And by the way, you knew that one of the deficiencies with this kid was catching the ball. You knew that coming
hands.
in. Yeah.
Although Charlie said he talked to the people in Cleveland, and they didn't have a particular issue with him as far as catching balls. They felt like, even though he had, 70-some catches on 140 targets, which seems like a lot, he didn't have great quarterbacks thrown his way. The dropping balls wasn't a theme in Cleveland. So it's become something here, certainly.
It was something they noticed in the preseason.
It's something that we've noticed from the beginning here.
Yeah.
I personally, because I don't think he's done much. It's been a disappointment. I think he can stretch the field, but you got to throw it his way every once in a while. I think they should try to get whatever they can. What are they going to do with Martavis Bryant? I mean,
Tomlin said he's not going anywhere.
not going to trade him.
All right.
They said they've invested too much in him.
Then that makes sense to me. I would try to, maybe you could get a backup guard. Maybe you could get a backup tackle. I mean, I think I would move him. He's not going to be here next year because he's going to be unhappy with the way he's being used. He wants to get paid.
And they probably don't want him back.
And, well, that's certainly not at this rate.
Do you think Jay likes doing those conference calls?
No.
I don't think Jay enjoys doing any of the media stuff.
Do you have the quotes from Jay? I believe it's from the conference call about Kirk Cousins, because there were some interesting quotes there.
I wanted to answer the question, though.
Yeah.
So you want to trade him?
I would look into the possibility, and I'm with JP.
Now, if
You're not going to get a big return, but anything might be good.
I would agree that if you could somehow get your hands on Martavis Bryant, then that would be a huge get.
Well, if that guy's miserable and won't play and not going to call in sick, maybe they should trade him.
I would believe that Tom doesn't want to trade him. But with Pryor, I don't know. Like you said, you're not going to get much for him, if anything. And what if there's an injury down the road where you kind of need him? So I don't know if you just trade him or cut him. I think you probably just keep him. You might need him. Maybe he makes a few big plays down the stretch. You just never know. I would start Doxson over him. Definitely.
Yeah.
So he would just be that. He would be Doxson of the first few weeks.
They just don't believe he can play the other positions?
Well, he hasn't produced. The production's not there.
He hasn't produced on the one spot, but this might also have to do with the quarterback too. These are the comments that I wanted you to get to. I don't know if you have them. I think this is from the conference call where Gruden was asked about Cousins, and he says if he has a weakness, it's that he's too much of a perfectionist. And I found some of this interesting. He goes, he wants everything to be perfect. Unfortunately, I can't get guys 30 effing yards open all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be tight window throws. He's going to have to throw some days. I'll call some of these in practice, and if it doesn't look exactly the way I drew it up, he'll say, I don't know if I like that. I can't call it in a game. I'm like, Bud, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Some frustration from Gruden about Cousins. Then Cousins was asked about this, and Cousins said, if I played the way Jay testing, I'd throw receptions a year, and I wouldn't last.
Oh, he actually said
I know
that?
my limitations.
He actually said that.
Yeah, I found it interesting.
That is very interesting.
I'm not exactly sure when those
Did he
quotes
say that
came
to Grant
from.
and Danny?
It doesn't say in this quote. I just saw it online, and
I think
we
that
tweeted
needs-
it at Junks Radio.
I think that needs to be explored. Jay is saying, listen, well, I want my quarterback to take more chances. And Kirk is saying, if I did what Jay is saying, I would have 20 interceptions a game.
But again, the frustration, Gruden says, unfortunately, I can't get guys 30 effing yards open all the time. And
Right.
later says that when Kirk doesn't do it in practice, he goes, I'm like, Bud, come on.
Right.
And then Cousins retorts, if I played the way Jay is suggesting, I'd throw 20 interceptions a year and I wouldn't last. I know my limitations.
Right. There's got to be some middle ground there somewhere. And there have been times where Kirk early this year threw up a couple jump balls, right, that he typically doesn't. Like he gave Josh an opportunity to make a play. Remember, he scored a touchdown.
Right.
You need to see more of that. I think Jay's right, but he probably can't do it as often as Jay would like him to.